Hey again, Company of Heroes fans. This is Complexity with another shoutcast. 2 in a week. Can you believe that? I can't. It's hard to believe I have time to cast at all. So I was totally pumped, totally excited to cast another game today. And I saw this great replay from Game Over versus DevM. I was just like, holy shit. This game's got like 67 downloads, which is really high for COH2.org because no one visits the replay section ever. And I was like, man, I bet this game is going to be amazing. I can't wait to cast it. And then I remembered that it's from like 3 days ago, which is just before when the patch hit. So I can't be the only caster that's like disappointed about that, because that's some bullshit, dude. Like, I would have loved to cast a DevM game. And it used to be that like DevM couldn't even like fart in someone's face without like 3 casters tripping over themselves trying to cast it. So that's how we're left with this game, Donniechan versus HelpingHans here. Those that watch HelpingHans' stream know Donniechan actually plays against HelpingHans pretty often. Like, it's a surprisingly common thing. Even back in like COH1 days, it was like you couldn't watch a HelpingHans COH cast without seeing him play against Donniechan. So here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this one just because like HelpingHans is like what, top 15 Americans, and Donniechan is now top 100 OKW. Like it's like he probably got top 100 OKW after beating HelpingHans, to be honest. But that's not important. We're here. It's happening. So might as well embrace it. So let's go ahead and talk a bit about. Oh god, that thing is nice, but it's like gigantic and in the way. Let's go ahead and talk about capping orders, build orders. We didn't see a Kubelwagen first. This is different from the. You could like immediately tell the difference in OKW play between Donniechan and the guy we casted last game, Run to the Sun. Run to the Sun did this sort of aggressive Kubelwagen strat like early with the Sturm Pioneer squad, but like this was striking at the Rifleman squad to force a retreat. In this case, we're actually seeing him more go towards the recon section and just getting those volts and that map control. He obviously cares a lot more about map control when he's just probably going to get outcapped by Hans. And even now, we're seeing HelpingHans go straight for this fuel. Like, it's pretty evident right off the bat that HelpingHans is playing this real properly, and like this is kind of what his real intention was from the start, was to cut off this fuel here. And we're seeing Donniechan capping so aggressively, and obviously it's not going to pan out for him. But here we go, HelpingHans is being a little aggressive with his rifles, and they're actually taking quite a bit of damage from the Volk squad. So this isn't actually panning out for him. Like, this is like, if he just capped the fuel, maybe it would have been different, but now the Sturm Pios jumping on the Riflemen. I think they're going to get away safely. I think all of them will get away safely. And this is actually going to be a bad trade for Donniechan now. He's going to take a ton of Sturm Pio damage. Granted, the Volks are here, but god, this is just like one bad engagement after another. Never engage from like no cover, but looks like Kubelwagen's here to provide some backup. And Donniechan actually keeps his fuel, keeps his munitions. This could have turned out really bad for him. It was just like some decision making on the part of Hans could have been a little better, I feel. A little game sense. That gamer sixth sense, if you will. Yeah, and there's a suppression coming out. And we're seeing like this death blob strat out from Donniechan. It's really paying out for him. He's pushed Hans off the map, and Hans doesn't control any fuel or munitions. Really, you gotta understand and respect that as an American player, you have way more capping power, and we're seeing this like resource float here as well. You have like anytime Hans is faced with like this early pressure, he tends to let his resources sort of slip. This is a thing. This applies to COH1, applies to COH2. Never let your resources slip early game because it makes a huge difference. But, you know, then again, this is not totally uncommon, going like 3 rifle, and then like saving up for better units. Like, riflemen are expensive. They're expensive to reinforce. So I guess I'm just kind of weighing this cost versus sort of benefit between like buying more riflemen. Oh wow, early nade. Yeah, that could have been pretty bad for Donniechan.
Command has been set.
All right, like as I said, like what's the advantage of like saving resources, pulling your resources versus spending them right away? But I'm told that it's pretty common to go like 3 rifle into LT, and then into like an early captain, over going like 4 rifle and getting manpower bled out your ass. Very good play here, smoking the Kubelwagen. I think this is the big ability people are forgetting about, like, Rifleman, and how it counters Kubels, like, pretty well, is, like, dropping smoke. And, like, we're seeing, like, the recent drama of right now is that Kubelwagen's got serious suppression buff. They have more wider AoE suppression. Not really damage, but the suppression is noticeable and effective. We're seeing a lot more like Vet 5 Kubels surviving more just because they don't get overwhelmed by like 2 riflemen walking up to it and shooting it in the face. So this led recently to Breaking Brad, a relic developer, spamming like 4 or like 5 of these, rushing them at the enemy, then spamming some doctrinal 4-man, sort of good at long range. I forgot what they were called already. Obviously, I know every single unit. My knowledge of this game is extensive. Anyway, we saw that sort of happen where like people are crying for Kubel nerf. Meanwhile, they're not even utilizing Rifleman Smoke. We can't accurately tell how bad the Kubel is because people aren't utilizing the proper counters. And I want to encourage everyone to do that. We're seeing a Sternpile squad just melt here to a grenade combo and Rifleman just kind of focus firing. And there are the assault grenades. So we can already kind of tell Donniechan goes my favorite doctrine, the Special Operations Doctrine. With the infrared STG-44 packages. Pretty freaking fantastic. I love it. HelpingHans still hasn't picked a commander yet. We'll see. Pops into the building here to try to take out this rifleman. It looks like HelpingHans able to secure the top map. It's been kind of back and forth. Donniechan went left and then he went right and then he got kind of confused over which he's supposed to focus. And this really plays into actually HelpingHans' advantage. Now Hans has some decent resource income and like notice he's still stuck it out with his 3 rifle and he's got an ambulance now. So he's also pulling a shitload of manpower. It'd be interesting to kind of see the cost benefit of doing something like that. It's, yeah, like, I've definitely read in the commanders and, like, people on CH2.org, oh, there goes the Rifleman Squad on retreat. This was the one that cut over here. They got suppressed by the Kubel, and then they retreated right through Sternpile. With Sternpiles, you have to be really aware of those retreat paths, and it really paid off for him there. Don't let your riflemen get too low. Okay, so sorry about that awkward pause. I hate like yawning into the microphone and then like talking like normal out of it. But we're seeing him pick up the elite rifleman training right off the bat to recover losses. This is better earlier. The earlier you get it, but it was recently bounced a little bit to not be so broken. But it is going to be a little more forgiving of Hans losing 1 or 2 units. Alright, ambulance with the aggressive strats. But I think it'll be fine. Rifleman pushing up on this munition north. And yeah, we're seeing this 3 rifle straight into Captain. I really, really like the Lieutenant for the Americans. It's got that early BAR, good anti-infantry, but then again, you know, Hans does have this flamethrower. And actually, I see why he ran his ambulance over here, like right into these folks earlier. But it was just to clear up a retreat path. And especially on this map, you want to be aware of those retreat paths. In fact, just as I say that, Donniechan cuts down this fence. He really should have done that at the start, but yeah, this is an important fence to run over, so your retreat paths aren't so bad. Alright, and Captain. We're seeing the usefulness of the Captain here. Really should have gone straight for that Lieutenant, in my opinion. But I think he's going that early captain to get that early vehicle. This is kind of his best... I don't know. His best counter to like this early Kubel. Kubels really give American players hell. Non-stop complaining. Oh, that was a grenade. Are we going to see the same thing happen over here? Oh, crap. Those folks are just going to eat it. But yeah, these Volks ate a grenade and then I just got ignored and now they're crawling around the ground, giving up on life. Nazis learning what it's really like to crawl on the ground. Alright, so I guess another thing to be aware of with Captain is that actually 2 bazookas to a squad, so this makes him really good against these roaming trucks, just kind of looking for some fences to run over or buildings to crush. Who knows? And Donniechan, seeing the Captain, I think wisely goes for the early anti-tank. We'll see what that's called when it's retreated. Because I really don't know what it's called otherwise. It's the little small anti-tank gun. And, like, that's honestly a decent move. Rakton Warfare, okay. Anti-tank rocket launcher. We're going to forget that right away. Han's actually not rocking too much fuel for the early vehicles, but I guess when you go straight to Captain, you actually do get a decent amount of fuel. Ooh. Pack Howie. Somewhere. There it is. That's what we went for. Alright. That was Hans' plan. Pack Howie doing some work. And the anti-tank gun. This, I see why this tier 2 sort of bum rush is so good. Because you do have this steward option too. Pack Howie, and this anti-tank gun I think is the best option against the trucks. Especially against this like sort of rapid tacking coming out from Donniechan. Yeah, and it's interesting to again contrast this with the previous cast I did of the other game between Captain Sprice and Run to the Sun. Was Captain Sprice actually skipped this captain? And obviously it was a different commander too. One kind of has to wonder what kind of game that would have been if he did go this captain for the pack howitzer, because it seems rather effective. And we were commenting at the time, or at least I was commenting. I don't know why I use this collective we. Maybe it's like the royal we. Like I consider myself some kind of COH royalty, but actually I'm pretty shit at COH. I have like very little license to be talking about this game. Anyway, I was talking about what kind of advantage would an indirect fire unit have been for Captain Sprice at the time. And honestly, this was something, it was funny because like the best part about that cast was I got to talk to Run to the Sun after like he watched the cast. He thought it was pretty good, except I like missed a ton of shit. How he would have responded to like early indirect fire units like a pack howitzer. Or like that mortar, that doctrinal mortar. Woo! Damn. That is an effective pack howitzer right now. How he would have responded to that. And to that, he hadn't really responded. I really should have asked him directly. He had a lot to say kind of about the importance of controlling this building as OKW early on. And like how good this tier 4 is.
The enemy is overrunning one of our
but yeah, no, he didn't really have a response to any of that. I guess it's kind of interesting to actually see the different strats from each of these players that we're fortunately getting exposed to. I commented earlier in this cast that this captain really didn't pay for itself and how important the LT is. And I suppose that's just the way that commander is sort of played. And this is... When you run this commander, this is with the, sorry, I have to look this up. The rifle company commander, like, you want that early captain. Whereas with the one, Captain Sprice went with, like, the Browning automatic, or the Browning machine gun equipped for rifles, versus this, flamethrower. You know, it's kind of interesting seeing that contrast. Like, I was kind of disappointed that I was going to cast another OKW versus Americans game, and a long one at that. This cast is probably going to be like an hour long, which is like annoying to me because I like these short and sweet videos that are like 30 minutes. 45 is generally my limit, but I have a feeling this one's going to go for like an hour or so. We're in for the long haul, boys. Get comfortable. And we're seeing more Sturm piles getting lost. And we're actually seeing Hans with the good rifle vet too. He's really packing it in, so to speak. And this Sturm pile squad is just kind of running for his life. Huh, interesting. There's like a bridge over here. I bet like at some point units were called in from this side. Because like that was the thing in like early COH2 beta. Was like, oh, he's not going to make it, is he? He's not going to make it, is he? These riflemen got him in the bag. They got his number. Oh, he's dead. The deadly rifleman retreat killer AoE damage. Was like, if you controlled like points like this, you could suddenly call in units from like this side of the map. It's freaking broken, dude. It's so good. So, anyway, game Furley and Hans's control right now, but we're not seeing a whole lot of strong teching. This Stewart is kind of a weak choice, I feel, simply because it's kind of meant to be anti-infantry. When like Shell Shock, I guess this is his most useful ability, but it's really only good in combination with like better armor options. Alright, so who knows why this is getting so aggressive against these riflemen. I'm sure there's a plan. Maybe it's bait. I don't. AT grenade. That's nice. I guess Hans feels like there's some sort of trap because he's like avoiding it now. Ooh, baby! Glad I got to zoom over in time for that. But like honestly, I just murdered the shit out of this. Focus fire and flamethrower it down. Guess he's waiting for cooldowns now, but he does have it now. He could get close and probably kill it now. And yeah, it's looking bad for Donniechan. So Hans has really got the control of this one. This teching is just really good. It's interesting. Oh, please don't lose it. Please don't lose it. Okay, good. Alright, those riflemen are getting away. God, Hans. You're so lucky sometimes. But we're seeing like good teching. This is a solid build order. Good fucking hit by that Stewart, actually. That's valuable veterancy, too. This rifleman, 3 rifle into captain into pack howitzer. And now we're seeing the major.
I don't have to take this. Eyes on me.
Let's click you again.
Here's the thing. Stand to. Orders.
I can click you all I want. Alright, anyway. So, it's kind of hard to see Donniechan winning this one because, well, Hans is now threatening the tier 3, or tier 4 actually. This is technically a tier 3. I'm told. Like, everyone's like, this is a tier 1. This is a tier 3. This is the tier 0. I'm like, oh, fuck it. I guess we're starting index 0, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so that's cool. He used the Rifleman Flare ability from these Riflemen to Cypher's AT. That is some sick sort of teamwork there, I guess. And God, please don't lose the Stewart to like being overly aggressive and lazy. Like, you have to remember, Stewart's really weak. If there's anything I can strongly criticize about HelpingHans in this game so far, is this Stewart choice. But who knows? Maybe other games he has more problems. Like, I'm assuming he has like a set build order. That's usually just how Hans plays. Especially since he went like these 3 rifle, like, and like replaced him immediately as soon as he lost him. Floated all that manpower, etc. I can only imagine that, like, oh wow, he recruited with the recon section. Anyway, I can only imagine that this was kind of his plan from the start. And it's a good one. I mean, it's safe, like, if he loses riflemen, he can replace them. But, like, I only imagine that, like, he went Stewart, just because, like, you know, that's just his tech order. Maybe he has more problems with infantry. I feel like his capping would be a little stronger if he went 1 more rifle. Like, let's say, for example, you have a good early game as an American player, and, like, you didn't lose any riflemen, and, like, you are floating a shitload of manpower. I think I'd want to push my advantage a little, map-wise, and get, like, more riflemen, because that's kind of the advantage that Americans have, right? Like, they just cap better than the OKW do. But, you know, that's just something you should think about when you've got your build order. You gotta be a little flexible with your build order. Like, so many players, especially, HelpingHans especially, they, like, lock into this build order. They don't, like, think a little more about, like, what they could do. And this is, like, something you can kind of see. Like, when you're playing, let's say you're watching a replay that you won against a good player like this. Like, say, like, you beat me, and you're like, man, I killed Complexity, time to pride post them straight away on zero2.org. That's fine. But, like, you don't learn a lot from replays where you won. Like, you learn more from replays where you lost, because you're like, oh, well, clearly I shouldn't dive my steward into, like, 5 Panzer strikes or something. When you're watching a replay where you win, you have to look for ways in which, like, you're winning and how you could have pushed your advantage. Like, that's what you should look for. Like, I'm winning. Let's assume I did something wrong here and see how I could have played it better. And I think that's something you gotta constantly keep in mind of when you play, too. It's not something you can just sort of, like, blindly go in and be like, yeah, alright. I got all these awesome riflemen. I lost one at one point. I should probably be more careful. Oh, you know that I think about it now, I'm seeing sort of the synergy. Like, you see, have the shell shock from the Stewart and the AT gun with, like, armor-piercing cyber rounds. Like, that's a great combo. That'll allow him to deal with heavy armor. And that's, I think, an advantage of American armies, that they have, like, a lot of good, decent combined arms. And I think probably they're best when they're, like, blobbing 5-man style. Oh shit. Okay, good. So yeah, no, this is decent tech. I see why Hans went Stewart, and I see why he went AT gun. It's solid, you know? But there goes the Stewart. Like, didn't get to do it because it was weakened. And honestly, in the big picture, you really have to look at that. Oh man, if that penetrated, that would have killed. The big picture, if the Stewart didn't take so much damage down here from the Panzerschreck, and if he got it repaired straight away, he could have pulled off his combo. He could have done his shell shock with AT gun combo, and probably wouldn't have lost to this Panther as much as he did. And this thing, oh my god, it gets so deadly with veteran seat. Where the fuck's it going? Oh well. Anyway, killed another truck. Donniechan's teching really sucking, but I think makes up for it by having this Panther, Command Panther. Uh-oh, no boy. Alright, so here we go diving with the Jackson tank destroyer, and I think Donniechan sees that. This is really risky, but we'll see how it pays off. There's obviously the Panzerschreck going to be a problem. These base flaks going to be a problem. How did he know to check here? Like, I was like the last place I would have looked for a Panther. But whatever. What do I know, right? I suck at this thing. And there it goes. Yeah, like that was like way too aggressive. Like, why dive this hard? Maybe he heard it through the fog wall. Maybe he heard the or something. Wow, he really wanted this. He really wanted this. He even dived with his captain to try to get some rear armor hits and kill it. But yeah, he's just going to take a lot of manpower damage now. It's not like it'll be a problem though, because he's got all this manpower. He did lose this fuel cache though. Some of these players have just read each other very well.
The enemy is overrunning one
that's
of
an
our
important thing
points.
to kind of note, I guess.
We've got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Pack Howie, bet 2 now. Fires on some anti-tank stuff. God, I need like a co-caster to just like list these things off for me, because I have no idea what they're called. I have no idea what any of these units are. Racton Warfare, okay. Alright, the anti-tank gun rocket launcher. Truly, that's all it is. Alright, so here's Hans actually using what I recommended to Captain Surprise on that other game. Is a retreat point set up over here rather than over here. And Hans, it's good to note that Hans did have decent control of this command point for a really long time. He's eating these grenades though, which is bad, but I mean, whatever. 3 rifle, keeping to that 3 rifle combo, 2 AT gun. I personally would have gotten the Stewart if like your that combo is so important to you that, oh wow, holy shit. It's back at full health already. If that combo is so important to you, that Stewart AT gun, you really don't go a second AT gun hoping to counter it. It's just going to run away. You need a lockdown and a killing maneuver. So I expect Hans should, like, if he wants to be consistent, should probably replace the Stewart. Like, if that shell shock combo was so important, you might as well go for it. So this is Easy 8 Commander, important to note. That late game Easy 8 gonna be really strong. I think that's what he's saving for now. He's abandoning the placing story. He's going straight for this Easy 8. So this kind of makes this part of the game sort of fragile for him because, well, he has no real solid answer to this Panther. Like, sure, he can damage it, but it's important to note that OKW have really, really strong repair options, especially with, like, Minesweeper Stern Piles. Oh my god, this is going ham. Probably gonna lose this, actually. Why did he retreat those rifles? Oh, because there's another Stern Pile squad. Whatever. Why phosphorus rounds coming down on this point? That mostly does infantry damage. I understand it kind of fire at the target, the obscure sightline, and damage infantry over time. Yeah. What if there's friendly fire associated with it? It appears that, yeah, it appears to do friendly fire damage. If you watch that health bar down here, it's slowly decreasing from the white phosphorus. See, like, Hans has so little map control considering the amount of, like, infantry advantage he has over Donniechan. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe some sort of policy like one rifleman for every Volksgrenadier I see. And then that will force you to kind of pay attention to, like, how many Volksgrenadiers or Obersoldaten your opponent's running. Like, we're seeing Donniechan having a pretty strict 2 Sternpile, 3 Volk, and an Obersoldaten sort of army composition here. And it's worked really well for him. Like, it's kept him in this game, kept him from not losing too much to manpower. Oh god, he's gonna lose the index. Alright, yeah. I think he's gonna take out these Volks. Yeah, he's gonna do a lot of damage with Volks at least. Donniechan, meanwhile, able to chase off these riflemen easy peasy. And yeah, these pack Howie shots to kill units on retreat, that's kind of insane. Alright. Going into mid-game now, or mid to late game, I suppose, as Donniechan has replaced his tier 4. I'm calling this tier 4. Haters gonna hate. I imagine he's gonna want, like, some heavy armor, like more Panthers, or Luke's, or maybe even hell, Sturm Tiger. Why not? Fuck it, right? The unit's awesome. It's the best unit in the game, in my opinion. It's the most hype unit in the game, at least. And that's all that matters! So far, Donniechan also, like, managed to maintain the victory point. And this is gonna hurt Hans late game. Like, this is what we're talking about with that lack of pushing the advantage that he had early on. He's floating like something like 700 manpower. Like, now these things are gonna be tough as shit. They're so hard to kill. Oh my god, Vet 5. Oh, the grenade. That does nothing to him. Like, holy shit. It looks like, yeah, drastically increasing squad survivability Vet 5. Shit. You probably are gonna have a hard time, like, tickle those Volksgrenadiers with, like, grenades at this point. At least the captain's Vet 3. Like, increased mobility and weapon accuracy. This means he, like, starts to sprint when he's out of combat. Ooh! Damn, Pack, how you doing work? Vet 3. Max firing range increase, and spreading time allows riders to be fired more frequently. Damn, that's awesome. I know this thing gets ridiculous. Affects all units. Does not apply to Command Panther. I think its aura actually affects all units already. You'll have to check with Cruz on that one because he talks about some of the stealth changes made in the game, and that was one of them. All right. My instinct was correct. Hans was actually saving for that easy 8. But he's still losing map control. He's still having map control issues. He's having victory point problems. Like, this retreat point does allow him to threaten this victory point pretty easily. And also threaten this fuel point, which he has done a good job of. But, like, he lacks overall map presence. And it's kind of a shame. Oh, please don't lose. Yeah, there goes the rifleman squad. He retreated over here and died, which is... Yeah, And lack of decent lockdown for this Panther means he can just come in, tag shit, and then walk away. Like nothing. Like nothing was ever wrong in the first place. Hans feeling the heat from those victory points. That guy probably going, yo, we're down to like 100 victory points. You wanna cap some VPs? And so Hans obliges angry American announcer guy and starts capping some victory points. Trying to keep control. Holy shit. These folks. Whoa! Packowie doing the deeps, as they say. Wipes out another Volk squad, just melting left and right for Donniechan. It's hard to say what he's got left. 2 Sternpile, 1 Volk. He lost his vetted Volk squads. He's probably going to need to start replacing those, but... Oh, man.
It's time for action.
He's, like, seriously hurting on all fronts, actually.
Panther, ready to move.
This is pretty firmly in Hans' advantage once again. Like, every time Hans makes a few mistakes and, like, forgets to do stuff, suddenly I'm seeing, like, him, like, make big comebacks and, like, push advantages that he clearly didn't know he had. This Fraction Warfare is probably going to die. It's making no move to run. And it's also important to note that Donniechan has these infrared SCG-44s, but I don't think he's gotten them on these yet. No, he can readily afford it, but again, push your advantages, people. You've got them. Alright, so yeah, Hans looking again superior overall in terms of forces. He's capping, like, this is a clear indication that your capping is having problems, is you're capping with your anti-tank guns. Like, that's dangerous and risky, so keep that shit safe, how about, huh? Alright. Killing little Obersoldaten, little by little. Yeah, shit's just dying left and right.
It's time for action.
He doesn't have much left. Like, Sherman Easy 80, Easy 8's giving him hell. I almost called it an Easy 88. That'd have been like the biggest, like, war entendre ever. Like, were the Americans the Nazis, or was it Hitler? 88, Easy 8. Am I making sense here? Oh god, I don't even care if that joke sucked. Alright, whatever. Easy 8 takes out like half the health of that supply truck and then goes down to an AT gun. Who knows why? Probably wanted to run over this fence. This is Captain Sprice's retreat point now that we're using. Finally vet 1 on this Panther. Like, honestly, I just like take damage from units just to get vet on things like this. Like, yeah, tank some fucking bazookas, min-max, sort of, like, take damage so you gain vet, and then, like, kill shit. Constantly be in combat, so you're maximizing your veterancy.
Reconnaissance by flare now available.
Alright, so Donniechan, I guess, can't call in anymore. You can only call in 1 at a time, I guess. Yeah, you're only allowed 1 at a time. That's probably fair. Let's switch back over to Hans, who's now, like, in the advantage. He's walking... Oh, he lost Rifle Squad at some point. Oh, that was probably a while ago. Whatever. Those of you at home can keep track of this shit better than I can. He's got 3 AT guns now to counter the Panther. Holy hell. Just get a Steward if you need lockdown. Like, really, that's going to help you win, is, you know, locking down the Panther and then gunning it down with, like, an anti-tank gun and an Easy 8. Like, that's what'll do it. Oh yeah, I forgot he stole this Racton Warfare, so that's the... They look the same, okay? Like, they're only slightly different. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a Racton Warfare and a 57mm anti-tank gun. They look the same up here. I thought he built a 3rd one, but no, he just stole it. Does it seriously have, like, 5 veterancy levels? No. Huh. Yeah, alright. Yeah, it looks like when Americans steal this, they don't get 5 level veterancy, they only get 3. Huh. Oh well. Alright, there's the, there's the Rifleman Flare. Probably gonna help this AT gun snipe shit. Probably gonna help this thing too. Where is it? Pack howitzer. HelpingHans. Cutting stuff off. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, is this AT gun firing? Yeah, barely. I think it's like attack grounding. Yeah, it's attack grounding. Yeah, alright. That's gonna help. Please tell me the Paco is gonna fire. It's got barrage. Like, holy shit. Hotkey your indirect fire units. This is painfully important that you hotkey these so that you know to, like, launch it and keep it on cooldown. Like, personally, I don't use a lot of hotkeys, but I always hotkey my artillery pieces. Like, my mortar is important, my path Howie is important. It looks like he did finally launch it. I feel like it could have happened earlier. Alright, my favorite unit in the game. What's gonna happen here? He's hunting, looking for trouble. He don't give a fuck. He'll take that AT gun shot and then just kill the AT gun. Oh, good. Playing cool, playing cool. Oh, no! Oh, no, Rhino! That was sick. Man, imagine if that hit. I think its ready time needs to be reduced just to make up for the fact that it can no longer, like, target on units. That was kind of a thing I took advantage of, and it was obviously broken. Let's be honest. That's pretty an unfair aspect of the Storm Tiger. But did they really need to nerf his range? Like, come on. They didn't really justify that at all either in the patch notes. It dropped from 45 to 40, by the way, which I consider significant. They also changed how its interaction with scenery is. It actually no longer collides with, like, bushes or houses. It always lands where you want it to land. What happens when the Major hits Vet 3? Movement speed, establish a retreat point and lock down friendly territory. Whoa, shit, are you kidding me? You can lock down enemy territory with the retreat thing? That's fucking nuts. That's knuckin' futz. I want to see that happen more. Kind of be aware of these things, please. If you are American player. I almost said OKW. OKW doesn't get majors. They get Sturm Tigers, which are the best units in the game. Anyway, hard to say what Donniechan's endgame plan is at this point, besides sort of stay alive and pray he gets some decent Sturm Tiger shots off. Hans is decently blobbed. He's now got the Jackson, which will, again, be more damage to the Panther, but, like, he seriously needs that lockdown. Like,
Boys, you ready to roll out?
I'm serious about the Stewart. I was criticizing him for the Stewart earlier, but, like, more and more I'm seeing, like, how important the Stewart is to Hans' overall strategy. It's really important. That's, spoiler alert, it's super duper important that he has that Stewart. Alright, so Hans pretending to make a push, but obviously not actually making any pushes. Instead, he's just going to let these guys cap the north side of the map. I feel like the Easy 8 could easily chase him off, but I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know. Maybe he's, like, looking at his passport to Japan or something. Who knows? Anyway. He's acting way too defensive to this Panther. Like, he could... whatever. Sturm Tiger is scary. Wow, alright, so... not a whole lot of damage to this Panther. And it looks like, yeah, Sturm Tiger's gonna go ham. What's gonna happen here? Please tell me he's gonna take out an Easy 8. That would be totally hilarious.
We lost a gun crew.
Alright, looks like he lost the gun crew as this AT gun to the Oversoul Dotton. Double Ober. Oh no, Hans. See, if he took care of these with the Easy 8 earlier, they wouldn't have been a problem, but whatever. Instead, he used his Easy 8 to, like, harass his Panther, and let's see where that got him. Absolutely nowhere. Good to keep these things in mind. Using your units effectively by complexity. I don't know a whole lot about this game. I don't know what it does, but it do. Alright, good grenade, Donniechan. I guess that was bad, but whatever. Fuck it, it costs like 10 munitions anyway. Alright. So, yeah, Panther... I guess if he got aggressive with his Easy 8, the Panther would have countered him. But he has like 20 AT guns to chase something like that off anyway, so... now he has nothing. Important thing to keep in mind, I guess. Just short of the smoke screen. Oh, that's cool. That's nifty. Alright, so what does HelpingHans see? Mostly it looks like a whole lot of nothing. Like, this whole area is, like, scary to him, even though he's got, like, huge unit advantage. Donniechan. Donniechan, over Soldaten, probably the scariest thing he owns, as well as this Panther. Now the Storm Tiger's back at full health. Oh, shit. There's the artillery flares. Gonna sight. This is an interesting interaction. This will help him fire the Storm Tiger. Yeah, he drops the artillery flares, and then you can see like where shit is for a Storm Tiger. And here we go. Alright, 2 kills. Could have been better. I was expecting more. I don't know why, but that's okay.
Americans have 75 points remaining.
Oh no, not the pack, Howie, no! That really should have been closer over here. That's really unfortunate, though. Oh yeah, he's just like, no! Rage drop the fucking phosphorus rounds, because, oh, it looks like Donniechan used radio silence. That's, woo, you sneaky little butt. That is cruel. That's sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. Looks like we don't actually get the full effect of the radio silence here. Doesn't show any minimap. Oh well. Some acts of desperation with the solo captain. If there's one thing I learned about playing Americans, don't get aggressive with like individual units who always want like some combined arms going on. Alright, so there goes trucks. I don't know why Donniechan's just like sacrificing these trucks. Just throwing them out there to the wolves and seeing how long they last, I guess. It's kind of some sort of sick Nazi experiment he's running. I don't know. He's just like, these men in this truck were traitorous men anyway, so let's just throw it at these Americans to die. I can't imagine. I was like, I can't roleplay like Imperial Donniechan. I'm sorry. Alright, oh man, it'll be a miracle if these guys get away. RNG! Wow! That's awesome, that guy's a hero. Alright, so it's like his Rakton Warfare. Hard to say if he stole that one or just built a new one. There was a Rakton Warfare here. He might have taken it back. Wow. That is really don't give a fuck. Alright, so here we go again. He's doing this on purpose, by the way. He does the radio silence plus the artillery flares and then the Storm Tiger shot. And this is going to be a good one, I think. Oh, baby, was that a good one. He could have even gotten the rifleman squad if he wasn't, if he maybe aimed a little to the left or wasn't so unlucky. But still, shit, that was a good shot. And we'll see Hans replace that ambulance soon, I hope. I imagine. Hans now on the ropes with 44 victory points left. I think Donniechan can pretty safely stall VPs with this super conservative play from HelpingHans.
Reconnaissance by flare now available.
Alright, let's switch back over. What sort of desperate things is HelpingHans doing? Alright, so there's the radio sounds actually taking effect. It looks like it turned off now. And yeah, he's like kind of lost now. I think he kind of lost track of like what the purpose of his unit comp is. He really got absorbed into killing this Panther when like he built the one unit that probably could have killed the Panther and lost it early on. Hard to say. Whatever. I mean, he didn't build the Stewart, so it's hard to say how effective it would have been if he had replaced it. Who knows? Whatever. I can't just jump to these conclusions anymore. Like, I got yelled at. I jumped to like 20 conclusions in the Run to the Sun versus Captain Surprise game. I swear to God, for like every decent like 1 point I make like about the game is immediately followed up by like 3 really, really bad ones. But you know, Stewart would have been nice. Like, you gotta think about like what was your intention with the build order with these unit comps. What's your end game unit comp? What is your best army you can have, like, at the end of the game. Ideally, you want infantry vet, you know, or like, armorman, obviously. But will that win you the game? Like, what else do you need? Important things you have to ask yourself this late into a game. Alright, and it's looking like everyone can see this, like, this replay thing I've got it on the right. Like, it's no secret that, like, this game is nearly over. Oh, man. He tried to steal that pack howitzer, but he couldn't. I would have stolen that right away for show. Alright. Here we go. Donniechan really taking advantage of that, radio silence plus, artillery flares ability. He's rocking a lot of, munitions to do shit like that. But he's still, like, the cost obviously is... Oh, did he finally get, like, I don't think he did, no. He didn't get the SCG-44 on those guys, no. He missed out on some anti-infantry, but I guess it really didn't matter. Shit, these stern pilots just don't care. They're only vet 1, too. They could die pretty easily here. Oh, this... Ah, he does. Too bad. Would have been cool. Panther now with engine damage. HelpingHans going ham. And he gets it finally with this Jackson. Some aggressive Jackson play. But he was so... I think this is like kind of a poetic justice sort of murdering of the Panther. Because like Hans was so absorbed in killing this that he kind of forgot about his ideal army comp. Paying attention to map control. And losing... and killing the Panther, but ultimately losing the game. So that's it from me. Alright, time for plugs again, the usual. Please follow me on YouTube. Give me the thumbs up. You know, those really help me out. God, I'm so sick of that. Such a stereotypical thing to say. Anyway, also follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/sexylexi, with the 3's replacing the E's. So that's twitch.tv/S3XYL3XY. Also follow me on Twitter to follow all the inane things I say there. That's at Complexity1 with all the vowels replaced with numbers again. So that's at C0MPL3X1TY1. That's all I've got, folks. Thanks for watching this sort of spur-of-the-moment replay again. And hope you'll keep following. Thanks.